How can you be successful in this life and in your walk? All of it has to do with making God the center of your attention. Let's talk about it. In the scriptures, over and over again, we find that if we make God the center of our attention, this is when things begin to work together for our good. For example, Proverbs 3:5 tells us to trust in the Lord with all our hearts. Lean not to your own understanding. Do you trust God? Following that verse of scripture is Proverbs 3:6, which literally tells us to acknowledge God in all of our ways, and he shall direct our path. You trust in God, you acknowledge God. Isaiah 55 verse 6 reminds us to seek God. Jeremiah 33:3 reminds us to call on God. James 4:8 reminds us to draw near to God. James 4:7 reminds us to submit ourselves, therefore, unto God. 1 Peter 5:7 reminds us to cast our cares on God. Psalm 27:14 reminds us to wait on God. Ephesians chapter 5 verses 1 and 2 tells us to be followers or imitators of God as dear children. Mark chapter 12 verse 30 reminds us to love God with all our heart, all our soul, all our mind, and all of our strength. So here are some instructions to be successful in this life and in your walk. Trust in the Lord, acknowledge the Lord, seek the Lord, call on the Lord, submit yourself to the Lord, draw near to the Lord, wait on the Lord, be an imitator of the Lord, love the Lord with all that you are and all that you have. And then Ecclesiastes 12:13 says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. When we learn to reverence God and make him the center of our attention, he works all things together for the good of those who love him and are the called according to his purpose.